Today we're sitting down with Gino Barbo, owner of Salon Service Group and usmooth, to talk a little bit about the ucare Foundation. Hi Gino.
G'day mate, how are you?
Doing all right? Thanks for sitting down with us and talking about this foundation.
You're welcome.
To get started, can you tell us a little bit about the ucare Foundation and why you started it?
Yeah, so ucare Foundation started probably about 10 years ago now, and kind of an interesting story. We had the usmooth brand, and we were doing a hair show up in Minnesota. And one of my sales managers, Tessa Monson, had come in for the weekend, and I believe it was the Memorial Day weekend, and it was the weekend where all the firemen were out there with their shirts off and their boots, and Tessa had driven in, probably donated about $4,000. But she got to the show. She said, it'd be really cool to do something with usmooth and see if we could, help our customer base. And we talked about it over the weekend. And probably about 12 months later, we decided to start the ucare Foundation. And probably the thing that tipped me over the edge there, besides the idea from Tessa, is I actually read an article that so many of the major charities and foundations throughout the world, so much of that money goes back to the administration part of it, and a lot of that money doesn't actually get to the cause. And so we decided to put together the foundation based on giving back directly to our customer base. And the only way we could do that was to have that foundation set up. And we take 2% of all of our sales on usmooth, and we donate that back into the foundation. And then, based on requests from our customers and our sales consultants, if we come across people that need help, we try to do as much as we can for them. And I think right now we're really close to have raised almost $500,000. We're really proud of that. Really proud of that.
So how can everyone get involved in the ucare Foundation?
Yeah, it's a great question, right? So I think we try to make it really simple. Being involved and helping is really buying the usmooth products, right? So again, getting back to how we fund it, 2% of all of those sales, not the profit, but the sales, we put into the fund. And that way we can make a difference with our customer base. But if people really do want to get involved, and we look at different options to do that, but the easiest way is just to support the brand. The brand itself, usmooth, is purely a professional brand. We feel like it's a great product. We try to put it out there on the market at a valuable price. And again, that is the best way to give back. And some of our recipients have asked how they get involved. And I always just say, look, just spread the word about the foundation and the brand. Don't buy the brand because of the foundation. The brand is very good. The foundation is the benefit of everything we do. And it is a really big part of who we are, not just at usmooth and the foundation, but at SSG too. It really is about, giving back to our customer base that's given so much to us, right?
Since the salons have been closed, how has the ucare Foundation been able to help the industry?
Well, that's a really good question. Two things. We've had some requests throughout the last 6 to 8 weeks of people that we can help, and we're doing that. And again, we can't help everybody, but we certainly do our best to do what we can. I think the other thing that's been really important, and we fell into it by accident, was that we opened up the brand with a hand sanitizer, and so we used the processes of the 2 ounces, and we put that back into the foundation. And then we've been able to sell so much of the hand sanitizer because of the virus that actually boosted the numbers that went back into the foundation. So again, I think just taking more of those proceeds and adding them back into the foundation is how we help. And then now it's a matter of waiting for those requests to come in, and they vary. But the foundation has actually taken a little bit of a focus, and it's just happened that way naturally. But there are so many hairdressers out there that have children that have maybe suffered some disabilities and things like that, and they can't. The mums and the dads, they can't leave work and get paid. They don't have their health insurance. A lot of them are independent contractors. So that's kind of a cause within the foundation itself, that we're helping so many families out there that may have to travel and help with hospital bills towards young children. And I always tell our sales consultants and our staff members, until you make that presentation, call it a presentation, or that donation to somebody that really needs it, you won't understand the impact that we have with our clients. It really is life-changing, and it really does open up a chord within your own heart and trying to get you to understand what is important to yourself, right? Sometimes we just get caught up in what we do every day, and we tend to complain or maybe gripe about some of the things that we deal with. But until you see some of those tragedies out there and what we've been able to achieve and how we've been able to help people, that's what you're going to remember, right? That's what we're here for.
What's great about the ucare Foundation? Could you tell us a little bit about the line usmooth itself?
Yeah. So the usmooth brand, again, has been around for about 10, this is our 10-year anniversary. We actually started with the iron years ago, and that's been a real success for us. And I think everybody looks at us as a company that has these fantastic tools. And then what we started to do, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, is we started to add the wet line into it. And the wet line is really interesting, right? We have a tagline, unexpected luxury. What's really cool about the brand is it's very simple. The quality of the product to me, is amazing. We've used some manufacturers that have built and manufactured for some of the key brands out there. So we use a very high ingredient base to go with it, but we keep it at a very affordable price. And so what we're telling people is you can get this great quality product for a very affordable price, and you'll get the results that you're looking for. Very simple, 3 or 4 shampoos and conditioners, half a dozen styling products to go with it. And 3 or 4 hairsprays, and it's a wonderful product. It's kind of interesting. It's always one of those things where you talk to our sales consultants, and everybody has some of it at home that they're using. So, but what we wanted to do was create a short, concise brand that would make a difference, that people could trust. They know that they could buy it simply through distribution in the professional beauty industry, and so we also guarantee that product is not going to end up in places that it shouldn't end up. It's really important to us as a manufacturer and as a distributor, again, managing what we do here and making sure it's the best fit for the professional beauty industry, and making sure that we're making an impact and supporting our hairdressers.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a certain type of salon that usmooth fits into best?
You know what, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it fits for every salon, right? I think the packaging is classic, and when I say classic, I think it's timeless, right? It has evolved a little bit for us, but it's something that sits in all types of salons. It's short, it's compact, the price point is great. So if you're a salon that is in that high price point, and we're trying to get to a client that perhaps wants a great quality product with that unexpected price point, we can fit that in as well. You can cherry pick the line. There are 3 or 4 different items that you can pick in there. So if you just want to cherry pick and you're an independent booth runner and want some favorites, you can do that as well. But listen, I think as a brand, we're not limited to any type of salon. I would say the opportunity is not in the salon, but with your consumer base. Mm-hmm. And that's what we try to do. So we've tried to build a brand that works for the consumer as well through the salons, right? And that's what we've tried to do with it.
So how can the industry continue to help each other during this time?
Well, I think the important thing in that question is the industry, right? I mean, I think sometimes we tend to break it down from salon to salon, stylist to stylist, distributor to distributorship, and think it's all competition, right? And I would say that anything that we can do, whether it's myself at Salon Service Group or any other distributor that's out there, we should be doing our very best to partner with our salons and find out what they need and give it to them so that they can move forward, I think, and they can offer that type of help to their consumer as well, right? And again, I think there are ways to do that, whether it's promotionally driven, if it's marketing materials that work through. But I think the partnership between the salon, the consultant, and the distributorship is more valuable than ever. Look, we're under attack by these multi-billion-dollar companies that are playing both sides of the fence. And as a distributorship, it's really hard to fight that message, and get these people involved. But together, if you look at the independent hairdresser, if you look at commission salons and the stylist in that, and you look at distribution, we're more powerful than any of them together. So if we can bring it together, we can really make a statement. And I would always say this to you, it's my job as a distributor to let you know what we have to offer our customer base. It's important to us that everything we touch and sell is privately owned. It keeps the business in the industry. Our message is to share that information with you. If you want to do business with the big boxes that take away from what we do in our industry, that's okay. That's the choice that everybody has in this country or around the world. What we need to do is make sure that we can make a difference by telling the message. If it's one salon, one stylist at a time. And I would say that most of our people feel the same way. It's a matter of taking a stand, one salon, one person, one client at a time, and making a difference. That's what we're doing at SSG. It's not easy, but we've stuck to it, and we're going to continue to support our hairdresser and our customer base, and our consultants and the consumer as well. That's what we're here for. Right? We're here to make a difference. It's at the end of the day, it's not about shampoo, right? It's about people that we work with every single day and the relationships that we build, right? And so I would like to think that we're the best in the industry at it. You know, I would ask people to stand up and make a difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
So do you think you'll come back to this show sometime?
Yeah, you know what? You guys make me feel famous. I think so. Yeah.
Signing autographs. And
yeah, I can do
being
that.
recognized on the street.
Yeah, you know what I do need is a coffee mug with some bourbon in it. Just
Really
that's what they do on TV, right?
Relax.
So, all right,
well, seriously, thank you for sitting down with us, and
You're
thanks
welcome.
for everything you do for the industry.
You're welcome. Thank
we all
you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you for the customer base. Thanks for the people at SSG that make a difference. And I always say, am I still on camera? Yeah, okay, well you can use that too. Look, it's about the people, right? We've built a great team. Our customers have stayed with us for years now. In fact, I had a phone call from a young lady and I'll say young because we're about the same age, from DuPont, Illinois last week, and she was one of my very first KMS customers 35 years ago, and for her to pick up the phone and call, it's just amazing. It's a really good thing.
How strong those bonds can
Yeah, it's
stay
awesome.
through all the
It's
years.
awesome.
Yeah, that's great.